we're getting here. Things I've already covered, I'm not going to repeat for you. All right, trying to find. We've covered that. All right. Attempted false imprisonment. In count 9, Roddy Bryan is charged with attempted false imprisonment on Burford Drive. He's not charged with attempted false imprisonment on Holmes, only Burford. There are reasons for that, but they're really not relevant to this discussion. The court will charge you that in order to commit the crime of criminal attempt to commit false imprisonment, the state must prove intent to commit false imprisonment, because that's required to be a party to the crime. In other words, to prove an attempt, which is what is known as an inchoate crime, the state must show Mr. Bryan's specific intent to falsely imprison Arbery. In other words, for the attempt charge, Mr. Bryan would have to know that the McMichaels with whom he had not spoken lacked probable cause. Now, whether you ultimately determine that the McMichaels had probable cause or that Mr. Bryan had it on his own, there obviously was some considerable testimony about his trailer being taken, something taken out of a family member's truck. He had indicated he got the security system because of concerns. He had heard a bunch of stuff at work, but specifically with respect to the McMichaels, because he's not spoken to the McMichaels, he can't have the specific intent to help them falsely imprison Mr. Arbery. It's just a quirk of the law that he can't be convicted on that basis. Now, almost done. When I go home this evening to 174 St. Clair, I will be sleeping soundly for the first time in a while, because this case hopefully will have been submitted to you by then, and my work will be done. Ms. Dunikoski is going to get the last word. I ask yourselves to ask the questions that I will not be able to. Please don't allow any more cheap shots. No more gotcha moments in this case. You will recall the state, I believe that was Ms. Dunikoski, playing the video of a utility truck stopping at the English residence, and the guy jumps out to use the porta potty, which was relevant to absolutely nothing other than Ms. Dunikoski's desire to reinforce for you the fact that Mr. Arbery was dead. That was clearly inappropriate. It was what I call a gotcha moment. And I would submit there's already been too much of it. You know, we've had professional witnesses come in here trying to tell you who you should believe. Again, please no more cheap shots in closing. And then, of course, we have the state talking about the death penalty for theft, for which they were admonished by the court. Now, I'm not trying to rub it in, but I would suggest to you that given all of the cheap shots and all of the misstatements, I won't say they're knowing, we won't be jumping any assumptions, but given all the cheap shots in this case against Mr. Bryan, I would hope that when Ms. Dunikoski has the last word here, that you will hold her accountable and that you will not accept or tolerate any more cheap shots when I have no opportunity to respond.